Hey everyone, this here is going to be a video showing you how we use the long line. We're going to be showing you this with the new Board and Learn guest, Otis. So he came in and he was definitely pulling on his prong collar a little bit. So the first thing we usually do anyway with dogs is put them on a long line and get them out and just do some really basic leash work. So in this video, you can see that I'm kind of just walking back and forth, and I'm allowing him to go ahead of me. I want him to go to the end of the leash. This really, from our experience, helps drain a lot of energy for the dog, especially when we're going to put them in a kennel afterwards. It helps drain some of that energy in case there's any resistance to go in there. But it also really teaches the dog to follow us. So he can go to the end of the leash. I go the opposite direction and I just want him to follow. And what he's doing there is he's experiencing some pressure on the leash, and then when I guide his head towards me, he actually releases that pressure himself. So we're doing some really basic training here without even doing training. What I'm looking for in this is a dog to more or less follow at my side. Again, I'm not asking for anything, but definitely the goal of this exercise is to get the dog to walk with me, you know. So if he goes up in front, I will stop and then I go into the other direction, okay? And as you can see, he's already starting to walk with me, okay? This is the beginning of teaching him what the leash means and how we can use it as a communication tool for future training. So again, we just walk around. I usually just go straight up and down in a line. This way, I'm pretty clear with where I want the dog to go and how to follow me. When he's starting to follow me really well, that's when I can start doing turns into him, like left hand turns into him. I can start doing figure 8 drills with the leash. But all that stuff really depends on what I see coming from the dog. If they're not really following behind me, I really won't do left turns just yet. I like to introduce those when the dog is kind of really trailing behind me, okay? So as you can see here, just continually to doing some straight up and down walking. Again, you know, this goes into the idea like the walk isn't just the walk. It really starts here. It starts with teaching the dog what the leash means and teaching them how to walk in this really low-key environment. Typically what we end up doing is we move way too fast through this stage, and we just go right to walking right away, and that can be really hard for the dog, and it can be really hard for the owner because the dog is just so amped up that they're pulling all over the place or they're barking and lunging. All of that stuff can be helped by doing this simple exercise. We typically won't take a dog on an actual walk for at least a week, maybe even 2 weeks. Sometimes it's even been 3 weeks. We just do a lot of this type of leash handling drills. That's pretty close to what I'm looking for. As I walked up and I was able to turn around and he felt a little bit of pressure on the leash and he turned with me, that's really good for day one. You know, it's not going to be super smooth just yet, but again, this is just the first day, and all of this stuff is going to look way better, right? So, see, I was like trying to go for the left, but he definitely was trying to go in front there, so I just opted for turning around in the other direction, always getting the dog to follow me. I don't really want to try to fight for position, because I want to get him to follow me. I can always work on those left turns later on, okay? But a little bit better that time for a left turn in, and those are really nice because those help create some spatial awareness between you and the dog. It just helps them look out for you, right? A lot of the dogs that we get are very tuned out on the leash, and sometimes you end up running into them, or they run into you because they're paying attention to a bunch of other things and not paying attention to the task at hand. Again, you saw that turn, that 180 right there, it definitely was really nice. He didn't really hesitate at all on that turn, which is all really good signs that he's starting to follow the leash. And, you know, so we're just going to finish up. He's got a nice, calm walk with me. I'm now doing kind of like a left turn walk. I like to do these again just to really start cultivating a nice heel. Okay, so when you're trying this at your house, you know, give yourself some time, but the long line is a great tool for helping to settle your dogs down. Okay.